Hi, welcome to Haven's Podcast. A safe space for conversations and curiosity. And lipstick on your teeth.
Welcome. Ready. So the title of this episode, which we kind of breezed over when you commandeered the intro, is Sisters, Are We Best Friends or Worst Enemies? And do you know why I wanted to say that line? No, you don't, because you didn't watch the show I told you to watch.
I did. I didn't watch to the point where they said that, though.
No, okay.
And I have a lot of good reasons for that.
Okay, you want to hear the reasons? Go with the reasons first?
Sure. Plethora of reasons, really. First and foremost, I forgot mostly over and over again, but you did text and remind me multiple times.
Yes.
And I've been rewatching Gilmore Girls, and it's like a comfort show, you know? So I have really stressful days, and then when I get off work and do all the things, and then I'm trying to watch a show, I just want to watch something that I know the ending. I know the storyline. I know where it's going. No surprises. No new introduction of characters, just classic warmth, Gilmore Girls, fall, leaves. And I don't know this other show. And I didn't want to watch a new show. And I also thought it was an hour long. That felt like an overwhelming amount of time. And also I forgot.
So plethora means 3 reasons.
Plethora. I'm sure I'll come up with more.
The show is Nobody Wants This. And there are sisters on there, and I love the sister dynamic. But the reason I wanted you to watch the first episode, and I've been asking for weeks, is because there's this line there. So I don't know about you, but every single time I say I have a sister, people's follow-up question is, oh, are you close? Do you not have that?
That's weird.
No, I've asked my friends and people that have sisters, they're like, yeah. And then the people that aren't close with their sisters, they're like, it's a really weird opportunity for a response. Like, if you're not close, what do you say? But they asked
that.
Okay, it's enough that it's even written in the show.
That'd be like saying, like, I have a family. Do you like them?
I know. But with sisters, it happens. And so in the show, she literally said, I had a sister, and someone said, oh, are you close? And she's like, oh, yeah. She's my best friend and my worst enemy. And I laughed so hard at that response because it felt like such an interesting, like, dynamic choice there. And then you see it, and you see like their deep love and how they're fighting throughout the show. But the first episode was, I wanted to give you the context for why I named the episode this title.
Well, I will say, for someone that works with contracts a lot, I imagine, you did just say to watch the first episode. You didn't say to watch the complete first episode. Just letting you know.
So
if you wanted to take me to court, I think I would probably win.
Lost. Okay. So summarizing that, what is your thought of that response when someone asks, are you close with your sister? How does it land with you?
I think that's a very weird question, first and foremost.
We're past the weird question.
But yes. Could you do me a favor and look up the definition of the word enemy?
An enemy is a person who is actively opposed or hostile to someone or something.
There's not more definitions?
One that is antagonistic to another, especially one seeking to injure, overthrow, or confound an opponent.
I agree with the second definition.
One seeking to injure, overthrow, or confound an opponent.
I agree with the second. The first one, not so much.
What's the biblical definition of enemy? The Old Testament, the most frequent word in Hebrew for enemy, I'm not going to pronounce it, is Oyebh, with their literal meaning of one who hates.
I don't agree with the biblical one either.
There's also one roughly that means one who distresses me or one who puts me in dire straits.
That is 100%.
I was going to say, which definition are we going with? Because I would agree about distressing, injuring, overthrowing, confounding, dire straits, but I would not say hates.
The original question was one of my thoughts.
How does the statement land with you?
How does the statement land? I mean, I feel like every sister... Am I ever supposed to look at the camera?
I feel like every sister...
I'm going to do the classic Haven sprinkler.
She's making fun of me from high school where I got the critique.
And college and my wedding.
No, one time I did it as a joke at your wedding, as a callback joke. It was ironic on the intentional way. I one time got the critique in high school that when I gave a speech, it was like a sprinkler. I would look to the right to say something, and then I'd look, what's the clock term? I'd look at 3 o'clock, then I'd look at 6 o'clock, then I'd look at 9 o'clock.
You're turning around in a circle?
1, 3, 6. No, I would just do 3, 6, 9, 9, 6, 3. I'm giving people who aren't watching us on video.
But you would do like a pause, pause, pause.
Oh, that's true.
Like a sprinkler.
I would do a 3, 6, 9 back to 3.
Uh-huh.
Yes. And so I got the critique once. Clancy's never let me live it down.
Because it was spot on. Because I'm antagonistic, dire straits.
Looking to overthrow me.
Looking to overthrow. Oh, so my response to that is anyone who has a sister can understand that response, I would imagine, I think.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I agree with it, but in like not a sad, negative way.
I would agree. Like, I think it's funny. I don't want
it to be sad.
I think you can only say it if it's actually funny.
Yeah. Oh, because if it's not,
then it's really, really depressing.
If it's true, it's like, why are you opening up to me?
Yes.
I don't want to know that. I asked you more. It's like, how are you doing? I just want you to say good. I don't want you to tell me how you're doing, really.
I do think someone asking if you're close with your sister does want to know, though. It's not a how are you doing. That's like it's a weird follow-up question.
Yeah, but like, do you want to know, like, how deep do you want to know? Like, I don't want to.
How are we doing year 2024? How are we doing year 2020? How are we doing 2015? All different answers.
How deep is your sister trauma?
Exactly.
But yeah.
Let's go back to year 1994.
I was 2.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I was 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we came into consciousness.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that. How do you know that?
Because of Mom's videos. Mom's homemade videos.
Oh. Okay.
So I'm thinking of it's a birthday party.
Oh,
I know.
I love this story. It really makes me look good.
It's a really sweet story where it was like some type of like diaper competition of like how can you put your baby doll in a diaper as like a toddler yourself, which is actually a funny competition when you think about it, is to have like babies who just got out of diapers trying to do this themselves.
So cute. It was a baby shower for my baby doll.
Oh yeah, because Mom loved birthday party themes.
She loves a good theme.
And you essentially were like, I love baby dolls. And she's like, for your birthday, let's do a baby shower for your baby.
Brilliant. I had a registry and everything.
Oh, I wish I could be a mom like Mom.
Like the amount we played the like baby shower games.
Yes, for your birthday party. So one of them was how fast can you put a diaper on a baby doll? And me, I was super competitive even at 3, so really focused. And then Clancy isn't even participating. She's just sitting next to me saying, you can do it, Haven. You can do it, Haven. You can do that. You can do it. And just cheerleading me on. Even though all of her other friends at her party are around, she's just cheering me on.
You. That was so sweet.
And I think that is our origin story as sisters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Another very endearing story about that party for me is I also, classic Clancy, would exclaim every present I opened. I had the same line, which is, that's exactly what I wanted for every present, which is just like, that's so sweet.
What do you think made you say that even as like a toddler?
You know what's funny is I think that I used to not believe that like who you are as a toddler is who you are, you know, at your
like
core.
At your core.
Yeah. Because I changed so much from childhood to young adult.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I'm in my 30s, I actually totally agree. As I've become more comfortable with who I am. And I genuinely just think like my best friend Claudia says if she could give anybody in the world a gift, it would be me, only because of my response to gifts.
Really? And you just genuinely love it that much? Genuinely
love it so much. I just think it's so thoughtful when someone thinks of you or what they think of and they took the time to do it. And I like things. Mm-hmm. I love a good thing.
Uh-huh.
I ask for like 100 little gifts every Christmas.
Oh yeah, we do like a big secret Santa because now we have like an extended family with like spouses and everything. So we'll just get one person and we'll get them like a a higher budget of gifts. Clancy has the tiniest things because she wants to open 27 gifts, and we go in the round. So it's like one person at a time, and by the end, it's just Clancy opening her last 12 gifts by herself of the tiniest things.
My favorite Christmas is Mom went to the dollar section at Target and bought like 100 things and wrapped them all individually.
And you keep all of them.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a chapstick and a hand sanitizer, and
it's about the opening. It's exactly what I wanted.
It's exactly what I wanted. But as far as encouraging you, I don't know. I first of all love you, obviously. Mm-hmm. I just like cheering people on.
Yeah,
I really do.
There's something interesting about siblings in that, like, you don't choose your siblings. Like, you're just born into these families, and then what are you going to do about it, you know?
Yeah.
So I wonder, too, do you think, like, as we're growing up, each stage, would we have been friends if we weren't siblings?
My initial gut reaction is not likely. For a plethora of different reasons.
Plethora, meaning 3 more reasons.
But,
okay.
But
why? First, before the but.
And I'm going to do my but first. But Aaron and I are very alike. So maybe.
You and Aaron would have been friends?
No, I mean, like, obviously you like that personality. So maybe.
Okay, why do you say unlikely?
I was just so different.
I know.
First of all, I had no friends. So I don't mean that in a sad way. I'm just very shy. Mm-hmm. So I don't, and you had every friend, all of the friends, even some of my friends you decided to take.
Oh, what?
Was it loaded? I don't know. But
there's an undertone there that we will unpack after your answer.
But no, you also had 1,000 friends. And I think there's no way I would have had the confidence to talk to you. Just in general. Like, yes, you're very cool and popular and awesome and whatever, but also just like a person and talking.
Yes. You're more shy than people would realize. Because right here, you're relaxed. We're on a couch. We're wearing matching shirts and just talking.
Am I relaxed? Why do I have 2 hands on the mic?
Death gripping it.
Who knows?
More so than I think if you met someone at a party.
More so comfortable now.
Yes.
Than if yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. For sure. Except for everyone I work with thinks I'm wildly extroverted.
You work remote.
I'm really extroverted from here up.
I was like, you can type out some Slacks and get on some Zooms.
No, like well, just because if I'm in a setting where it's been socially agreed upon that we're there for a specific reason and kind of the conversation topics are usually within a specific range of things, networking, anything that has to do with like a topic that I know, everybody here has agreed that we're going to go up and talk to each other.
Yes.
Parties, sad story. When I first joined this job, the face is...
I'm listening. Like it's called active listening. Ever heard of it?
When I first started working at this job, I started in like September a couple years ago, and they had a holiday party in December. I don't know who I thought I was. I just thought, yeah, I'm going to go to that by myself.
Mm-hmm. In person?
In person. I don't know who I thought I was. I didn't know these people. Barely. I met a couple of them. I show up. I get there. I, first of all, talk to the 2 people I do know who brought dates because that's what you're supposed to do. So then I was like, well, I'm infringing on this. I definitely did multiple, like I tried to get myself into a circle of someone I knew, waved at people that I knew, but they didn't see me, like the worst. Ugh. About 10 minutes later, I went into the bathroom and I stood in a stall while my Uber came. And I went back to the hotel. It was the worst. Now I think I could. I know everyone well enough. Now I think I could.
But like a setting where you don't know anyone, there's no specific actionable, like, oh, these are the reasons and the prompts or anything.
Yeah, for sure. If that was like a networking event, everyone was there for a very specific reason and talking about these very particular topics that I'm well versed in, then yes.
Totally.
A lot of caveats.
So that being said, maybe our paths would have never crossed.
Unless we're not in the same grade, so no.
No. I think we are very different. Like, I don't think we have tons and tons in common.
No.
Or even shared interests.
No.
Would you agree?
Yeah, no.
So I think that's also like one of the coolest parts about siblings is like it requires you to be with someone where I'm like, if we were in a room, I think we would do the pleasantries, but I'm like, I don't think we'd go past that. But then the fact that we're forced to be together, you bring such a unique dynamic or thought process or something outside of me. And you're right. You and Aaron are really similar on that front. But like, I love that because it's also, even growing up, whenever you would buy something for me, you would know my style enough, but you would make it just outside of my comfort zone or wheelhouse that would make it really unique. And I feel like you would kind of be great about like gifting. One, I know you love gifts, but you're really good at giving gifts because you would do something. I'm like, oh, this is not quote unquote me, but it's enough that it's fun to try.
Yeah. That's so interesting. I didn't realize I did that.
Yes, you did.
That's cool.
Very good about it.
Did I answer the original question?
I'm trying to think. What was the...
It was like,
would we have been friends?
Would we have been friends?
Maybe even in different stages. Like childhood, no. I think you were too shy and quiet. Mm-hmm. And I think I was a little too aggressive. I said it.
Plead the fifth.
And then high school, I think we would have if we were in the same grade. Because you were fun and goofy.
Yeah, maybe if we were like put in a group for a project.
Yeah.
As like the intro. Mm-hmm. I just got to get my foot in the door. You know?
Yeah. Once you get
an
audition, you're there.
Watch out, world.
Yeah, I got to get the audition.
You're hooked.
College, no, because we didn't ever really involve ourselves in any college activities. We didn't even make new friends in college.
I don't know one name of a single person in college.
That is not true.
I forgot his name. I keep calling him Lyndon B. Johnson, which is a president.
But you're supposed to recognize him when he becomes the president one day.
I will recognize him. It will prompt something in me. Okay. I just can't tell you what his name is. I don't remember. It was 3 names and a junior.
Okay. It was a guy she sat next to at University of North Texas who said he was going to be the president.
Go Eagles.
Go Eagles. He said he was going to be the president one day. And Clancy said, I'm going to write a book about the president cheated off my homework.
Because he did.
Whenever he becomes president.
It's a tell-all.
But
I just have to remember his name.
I was going to say, you have to remember his name first before you can write that book. Okay, college, maybe not. Adults. Unlikely. Again, because our paths would never cross. We don't have any of the same interests. Yeah. We don't go to the same places.
No.
We don't even really shop with the same clothing.
No. Yeah, I don't know when we... But... Okay, I think there's 2 different questions there, though. Mm-hmm. Would we be friends in that, would there be an instance where we would cross paths and hit it off?
Yeah.
Definitely no on that front. But would we be friends as far as maybe if there was some sort of manufactured event where our paths crossed and we were able to engage with each other, would we have built a friendship?
What do you think?
I mean, I guess it would depend on the setting. No, I still think no.
I know, me too.
First of all, your schedule's packed.
It's kind of crazy, right?
You don't got like your schedule's packed. I'm at the top of the priority list.
I make time for you.
Well, yeah, because I'm your sister.
Yeah.
If I was just a rando, I'd get like the 2 p.m. Tuesday slot.
Interesting.
Whoever has the 2 p.m. coffee Tuesday slot with Haven, you're at the bottom of the list.
It hurts because it is accurate. And also,
I get 7 p.m. happy hours any day of the week.
Anytime. Or you can come over here anytime. That one's the open invitation.
That's
you come
true.
to me. That one is literally wide open. For my sister, not for anyone else. I'd like to circle back.
Sure.
At a statement you said earlier.
Oh.
Where you said I stole your friends.
Did we not talk about that on the first podcast?
I don't think we did. I don't remember.
We really missed an opportunity there. That's a good one.
Okay, let's unpack. What happened with your friends? And me.
Oh, you stealing my friends?
Allegedly.
For sure.
I did not steal your friends. Unpack what you're about to say, and I shall call my defense.
So many instances.
No. Okay, I'm not. I'm quiet. I'm here to listen.
2.
I'm here to listen.
Okay.
And engage and get better.
And rebut.
I'm curious. This is a place for curiosity. You know, I'm not here to attack you. I'm not here to
antagonize or whatever
my will and be your
enemy is.
Yeah, I'm here to hang.
Here to hang. Well, it is objectively true. Here's the thing.
No.
There's a difference between correlation and causation. Okay? There's a high degree of correlation between me having the budding beginning of a friendship And zooming forward a couple months, and that person is now your friend. Only your friend. It's pretty correlated. There's a lot of instances. Is it you causing that on purpose?
What do you mean by
Who knows?
only my friend is what I'm curious. Why can't we both have the same friend? What does the only my friend mean?
Because that's how it works.
That's not true. I'm friends with multiple different sister sets.
Sure. Well, sure. But there's not multiple different Haven Clancy sister sets.
True.
Only in that, well, you didn't like hanging out with me growing up. If you liked hanging out with me, then maybe there could be group hangs, but it was an either or. This poor friend had to choose either or. And
name him.
I sound really sad.
Name names.
No, I'm not naming names.
Name a name to me and we'll bleep him out so I know who you're talking about.
No. Was OG mine. We were in the drama class together. I invited her over finally after months of building it up. Pep talks. Mom helped me with pep talks. I literally had conversation starters. I practiced it. And I invited her over to practice some lines. And she met you. Ended up being your best friend.
Is this in Los Angeles? Who? Oh, no. I didn't remember that.
Yes, you don't know that?
No.
I introduced you to her.
I did not know. But she was in my grade.
Yeah, but drama class was all grades. You didn't have classes because you went Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and she went Tuesday, Thursday.
No, I don't remember that.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
Okay.
Where's that rebut to that?
Plead your case with the second one.
Second one, you didn't end up being friends with them. I think this one I do think was on purpose. I don't know what it was. I've decided this one was on purpose because it was so pointed. Sunday school.
Uh-huh.
Flashback, I don't know, maybe 1996. Oh, something like that.
I'm 5?
Okay, 99.
Okay.
I don't know. We're in a young age.
Got it.
Sunday school, it's all grouped together. There's this one girl that I really want to be friends with. Again, weeks worth of prep. Weeks. Motivational speeches. Practicing the things. Practicing asking. And what I was trying to build up to was ask if she wanted to sit with me during Sunday school. Because I always sat alone. Actually, I would always sit with adults. I've always gotten along well with adults.
That's less sad.
Very comfortable. What? I'm an adult now. And I still get along very well with boomers and such.
Continue. So working up the nerve.
Working up the nerve to ask her to sit with me. One week I do it. I ask her to sit with me and she does. And it's
a high you're still chasing.
I'm flying high. I really am. And then I got sick. I got a cold. And I couldn't go to Sunday school the next week. Bummer. You weren't sick, though. Something happens at Sunday school. We don't know.
And we're in the same class here.
Yeah, because it was like a big group. It was like 4 grades together or something. And so then I come back either the next week or the week following. I don't know if I was out for 1 week or 2 weeks, one of the two. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it was 2 weeks. So we've got 2 weeks of work going on behind the scenes. And I come back. She saved a seat for someone.
Oh, no, don't tell me what you're about to say.
She saved a seat. Bible on the chair. I literally was like, wow, I think she's my new best friend. I've found my lifelong best friend. She saved me a seat. Go over. Go to sit down. Oh my God, thank you so much for saving this. No, that's for Haven.
Oh, no. Clancy, This is heartbreaking to hear.
Yeah, it's really sad.
I'm not kidding. As an adult, this is making me feel so bad. 1, that you experienced this at all.
2, that I remembered it.
That wasn't 2, that should be 2. And then 3, that I caused this pain. I do not have a recollection, and I don't recall doing it on purpose.
Sure.
Maybe.
I'm not saying you did it on purpose.
No, but I do not recall any of those instances that you had so much prep into people. I had no idea. Mm-hmm. I wonder if I had known, what I would have done differently, because I don't think I knew about. I don't even remember that with that one person.
Maybe it was like a subconscious-y thing, because there were a lot of people in Sunday school. She had been there for a very long time. You had shown zero interest in this person ever, which is why I think she grabbed onto you so quickly, because you were cool. You're like, cool girl.
It sounds like the young one. I don't recall the old one. It sounds like the young one. Maybe I did a weird competition thing, and then it really wrecked it for you. But I'm wondering if I had known that it was such antagonizing pain to get there, if I would have cooled off. And what a jerk I was if I did that on purpose. I'm serious.
I don't know if it was consciously
I'd like to
on
give
purpose.
myself the benefit of the doubt, but it sounds like maybe I was a little rude girl.
Well, I will say sure, yeah, they could be both and. I will say we're 13 months apart. You're only like 15 months younger than Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
You had mom and dad's sole attention 0% of your life, because you came right on the tail of Tucker, and then I came 5 seconds later. Middle child syndrome is like you're in Webster's dictionary as the picture.
In the last episode, Maria calls it center-born, and that's now what I'm calling myself. I'm center-born.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
Middle child.
No, I want to reclaim it. I'm center-born.
Why? Because the middle is the best part of the sandwich. I just read a book.
You literally just said Webster's and you were kind of hating on it, and now you're trying to rebrand it.
I think you're projecting here. I just said Webster's. I don't know what you're talking about.
Continue. You were about to say something else.
I was. This is just a side note. I was reading a book, and this kid has like a bunch of siblings, and his parents don't, like, granted, in this book, you live forever and you can reset your age, and it's a whole thing. But he calls himself the lettuce child, because in a sandwich or a burger, not only is the lettuce like kind of somewhere-ish in the middle, but like it's not the meat, it's not the cheese, it's not even the condiments that add flavor. It's like the thing where you're like, sometimes it's kind of soggy, sometimes you like it, sometimes you don't, sometimes you're neutral, sometimes you're like, damn, I forgot to ask for that to be removed. So,
oh my gosh, who is this person?
It's not an autobiography.
Oh, what? No,
It's a fiction.
autobiography means, huh?
It's not a true story.
I thought you were saying it's not my autobiography, and I was like, I know that.
No, I'm the bun. I'm half the bun.
Okay. I'm really trying to think of where we were going before that story.
Middle child syndrome. You doing it on purpose.
Dude.
But maybe not.
Hypothetically, I did it on purpose.
Sure. If so.
I want to think of why I would have done that on purpose. Good question.
Because you're my worst enemy.
I wonder, though, one, I'm a competitive person.
Sure.
Super competitive. Like,
sure.
It's one of my top 5 strengths in a literal assessment. I was like, yikes, that's number 2.
That's nice.
Kind of. But I'm like, maybe it was a competition thing. Maybe it is a, close in age kind of scenario. Like, Tucker was so right before me, you were so right after me of like who am I, or like, what's my place in that? I'm trying to think of why I would have done that. It sounds so sad and cruel if I did that just to, I don't think, would I have done it to hurt you, or would have I done it to prove something? I don't know. I wish I had a good memory and I could ask Little Haven, did you do that on purpose?
I have graduated therapy though, so I'm fine with it.
What would your therapist think I did?
That she said you did it on purpose.
Really?
I don't know. You didn't come up that often.
I wonder if I did. No, I'm genuinely here because I don't have a good memory. Maybe. And I don't remember any of this happening. I was not angelic as a child.
There was enough of a pattern, I will say, that it's probably not consciously on purpose. But I think, and we talked about this, I think, last time, about like why are oftentimes women so competitive when maybe not necessarily men aren't as like, I think it's the concept of finite resources. So if you have something, it means I don't have something. And I think as a kid, mom only had so much attention to give, right? If this is our main interaction is with our mother at that point in time. And she only had so much attention to give with a very packed household, 3 kids right in a row. She has a finite amount of attention or emotional resources. And Tucker took a lot just because his personality is big and wonderful, and I love it, amazing, but he was hyper a lot. I didn't take a lot, but I did get a lot. I was the youngest, and like blonde hair, blue eyes at the time, the whole thing. Like I got a lot of attention from external people.
And I think you had higher emotional needs. Like you were really attached to mom.
Oh, yeah.
Physically.
Oh, yeah.
Like always kind of holding on to her too.
Yeah. So it makes sense that if there's something that you're naturally better at, which one of the things that you're just naturally better at is making friends or being outgoing and starting conversations, and you're very likable. If there was a subconscious sort of feeling that I was primarily likable because I was very much the peacemaker, I didn't start a lot of arguments, was just kind of there, nice, that if you could lean into the thing that you're really good at, which is making friends, and if it had some sort of validation of, oh, it means that Clancy didn't win or something like that. I mean, you are very competitive. Even like the haircut thing. I think we talked about that last time. You wanted to have the longest hair in the family, and you cut it, which like, that's not you, girl. Cut your own.
True.
And then mom cut mine even shorter so that you could still have the longest hair in the family, because apparently there's a finite amount of hair resources.
That's so interesting. Yeah, because in the episode I did with Maria, we were talking about how like actually even what I've learned in studies and what I've learned from Dr. Becky, who's like a child psychologist, is saying one of the most intentional ways to combat sibling rivalry is one-on-one with the caregiver. Because biologically, you see other kids as threats because they're taking time, attention, resources away from your source of life. So like they're really threatening, like other siblings are threatening, but if you have a secure attachment, then it's less threatening. So I think mom had limited resources and dad just wasn't in the picture. So I feel like the pie slice did get smaller and smaller with each child because she had her hands full so much, and it's way too much pressure to put on someone on there. So I do think there was that kind of all three of us trying to vie for, you know, some type of recognition. But I do think you're right. Like, I think Tucker was like really big and hyper. I think you were more like mommy's girl and super close. And so I think
some may say mommy's little meatball.
That's the perfect full circle callback. I didn't set that up, but I teed you up to hit a grand slam.
I did.
Nailed it. But I would agree of like, I think you both had different kind of things. And I think I was like, well, I'm just going to have to like really figure out my own path here. But then I wonder, why would I have done that? Like, sometimes I wonder if I do things just to prove I can.
For sure.
Like, it's not even anything about someone else, just to be like, I bet I could do that. Like, if I'm tapping into what would my motivation would be. And I really do wonder if it is like the attention of someone or someone else, or just kind of to prove it, because it felt like limited oxygen in the home at sometimes.
Sure, yeah. Well, and even grandma always says too, like growing up, you were always, wherever the family was, you were with some other family. Yeah. You went to go join other families, and one time there was a horseback riding thing, and you just sped off and said, see you later, I'm going up in the front with all these people. I do think you sought probably external validation. Yeah. Because there's only so many resources within. So you were always at friends' houses and got a lot of attention from their parents. And like, I think likely you did get a lot of validation from external sources.
Yeah, I think and I remember one time mom telling me this in high school. She was like, you know, I know your siblings have like a lot of like external louder needs, but that doesn't mean that you don't get to have needs too. She's like, I know you're kind of quieter about them, and like, she's like, but I want you to
When?
She told me that in high school.
Interesting.
Why?
I never would have guessed that.
Really? Why?
I don't know.
Because I didn't really do anything wrong in high school. And like, as far as like getting in trouble, like, yeah, Tucker was all out and in trouble. And then I think you were like really close to mom. And so I think that even she felt like I think she was wondering, like, is it that you don't need me, or is it that you don't feel like there's room to have needs?
That makes sense.
And I think that was my thing, is I don't think my needs are met here. Like, I think I'm just going to have to go out and source my own needs. And I feel like that was kind of a little bit of my own narrative of, not that we grew up in a super loving home. So even this is all very like navel gazing to some extent.
Yes.
Of like, I really feel like we can work through it. These are first world problems. But I will say, to the extent it felt like we had a single mother because mom was the only parent involved in it, I do think I was like, well, I'm not going to get the one-on-one that I would like because other people have greater needs and mine aren't as dire or as important or as intense. So I'll just probably find them elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
No follow-up.
Solved it.
Trying to dissect that, but are there more than those 2 instances?
Oh, yeah. I just don't remember the names. Oh, ask Mom.
No.
A track record, very long track record.
To the extent, when I have asked her, she said that a lot of the time she doesn't think I did it consciously.
Oh, I don't think you did it consciously.
No. I did not.
You didn't do it.
I don't think I meant to steal your friends. I feel really...
I don't even know if you could call them friends at that point. They were just like potential friends.
Mm.
But, I mean, what does that do to someone's confidence? Woof.
Of course it would. Well, that's what I'm wondering. I'm like, now that I'm a parent, I'm like, if I saw that continually happening, I wonder, would it have helped if I had been pulled aside and said, hey, it may be natural for you, but like Clancy really, really, really wants this friend. Can you not, I wonder if that would have helped be at least aware that it took so much confidence for you to even ask someone to sit by you. And that is a really big deal for you. And I should honor that. Probably would have really solved a lot of your therapy issues. You could have graduated sooner.
I could have graduated sooner. I do think, and I could be making this up in my head. It's possible. I'm misremembering this. For some reason, I do think that at some point Mom had said something and your response essentially was, and it's a valid response, was I'm not the one doing it. They just like me more, which is a valid response. Mm-hmm. You weren't like going, well, besides the Sunday school one, bit of going behind my back. But besides that,
still a question
you're
mark?
Just around. Mm-hmm. You're just around and you're very likable. And people do tend to like you. This sounds really sad. Like I like myself a lot, but people do tend to gravitate more towards you. And also probably like I'm shy, so it takes me a while to be my authentic self. So I totally get it. But yeah, I think the response was, I mean, it wasn't your fault. The friend chose. You're just cool.
Did that cause you to have a wall between you and I?
I mean, it was hurtful, but no, I think I always wanted to be your friend. I wanted to be your friend too.
How do you think that changed into adulthood? Because now we have different sets of friends and different in groups entirely. And I think there's no overlapping anymore.
That's accurate.
Taking it to present day.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know if you would steal my friends because there's no overlap.
No, I'm saying no, I know that I wouldn't.
Well, but they might like you more.
I don't think so. Who knows? Because you've had more of a track record. I think you're a slow burn.
I'm a slow burn for sure.
Yeah, it takes a lot. But then once you're in, you really are solidified in.
Also accurate. No, it's true. I'm a slow burn. I'm a slow burn for sure. Except for with Claudia. When I met her, we were both like, do you want to, the first day we met, we said, would you like to be my best friend? Because there's an open slot. I think that's the reason why we're best friends. We talk once a month.
No.
Maybe. I think I see her probably, besides at church, 4 times a year.
And she fits in the category of best friend. Why?
Because she is.
Because it's like.
She just is.
The commitment?
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
And I will say I'm the most comfortable around her. I mean, even JJ will be like, you just gab up a storm. I don't feel uncomfortable. You know when I leave every conversation, I'm like, oh, that was weird. Why did I say that? No, never.
I love that.
We have very similar interests too.
I'm so glad you guys found each other.
Yeah.
And that works on that cadence too.
It did. We were just like, you know what? I'm insecure. You're insecure? Love it. Let's be best friends.
Love that. Candace and I will talk every day, but we only see each other very rarely because she lives in another state.
Yeah.
So it's more long distance. Going back to the show that you didn't watch.
I didn't watch fully.
Didn't watch fully. There is another episode.
Completion.
Ow. There is another episode that my secret hope is that you would watch more than just the first one, but I thought I need a really basic thing that you can commit to. She is getting her sister in the front seat, the guy that her sister's interested in the back, and his brother in the back. Yeah, and she was texting her sister about it, thinking her obviously was just going to go to the phone. Sure. But it's plugged in, and it's CarPlay, and it's like brilliant, reading off what she's saying. And you know what a scenario it reminded me of?
Oh, yeah, 100%. It would be me. I would be the one doing that.
You were the one doing that. Or it was like before car play, but it was when we were standing in a circle with a group of friends and I show you the phone, my phone. And I said, oh, look, Maggie, who was like our babysitter, is here to pick us up. Look what she said. And you take the phone standing in this group and say, no, it's not Maggie. It's saying, whatever her name was, has my sweater. Can you ask her to give it back? Okay. Mortified.
I'm not great at picking up on that, though. I'm just not. I'm really not. I was at the store the other day and I don't remember what I was trying to do, like return something. And the cashier was trying to imply that I could do something to work around the system. And he kept saying, oh, you can do. He was just shy of winking at me. And I was like, no, I don't have a receipt or whatever it was. And finally, JJ pulled me aside and was like, he just stop talking. He's trying to tell you something. Like, I'm just really not good at picking up on the like, hey, I'm going to say something. Like, that's on you.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny, Clancy.
Yes, it is on that.
That is the worst, but
did I ask her for your sweater back? Also,
no, you read it out loud, and so she heard you say that text.
So I did ask her
for her. You did. Technically, again, if we're going back to contracts, legally, you fulfilled what I asked.
I did.
Was it the way that I thought you would? No. Is it getting the outcome? Also, no.
She didn't give it back?
No, the outcome was hopefully subtlety.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Hopefully was subtlety and sweater return, so maybe half of it.
Half of it. Just like I watched half the show.
Okay, so I feel like we camped real hard on the worst enemies. Let's switch to how we're best friends.
Let's switch to best friends.
You know what I think is fun is we did a TikTok challenge recently together where it's it's like a grid of 9 photos and you place in there something of like, what would you be if you were an animal? What would you be if you're a flower? I think it'd be fun if we read off some of our answers for each other.
Oh, I like that. Do you have them handy?
I do. I have the little Sharedy note.
Okay, I'm gonna check my phone.
You can also have your phone up for this. Now a quick pause to hear from my sponsors. If you take probiotics, you might find this interesting. Lots of probiotics break down during digestion before they can even reach the colon, which can be really irritating, not only because you may not be getting all the microbiotics safely down to your biome, but also literally the early breakup of the capsule can irritate your digestive system. That's why Ritual's Symbiotic Plus is designed with a delayed release capsule to help reach the colon, an ideal place for biotics to grow and thrive. I choose Ritual products primarily because they use high-quality, clean ingredients. They're also vegan-friendly and formulated without GMOs, major allergens, animal products, shady fillers, or artificial colors. So, get the good stuff to your gut with delayed-release capsule tech that supports a balanced microbiome. Feel the difference daily with Symbiotic Plus. Get 25% off your first month at ritual.com/haven. That's 25% off at ritual.com/haven. Happy squatting. I'm sitting here on the set of something I'm really excited to bring to you guys, which is the relational e-course called Pillow Talk. I filmed it with my husband, Aaron, and our actual marriage counselor, Dr. Jonathan Cood. And we cover a variety of different topics with this e-course. It's coming out soon, so if you want to be in the know and up to date on when it's released, go to havenpod.com. You can see the little pillow icon on there, put your email in, and we'll give you a heads up of when it's coming out. Okay, back to the episode. Okay, so for the viewers watching, I'm going to throw up my grid of things about you first, and they can see it on there, and then I'm going to explain them. Okay. I'm not going to do all of them, just a couple of them. So this is the animal I chose for you.
I love it. I love it so much.
There's so much that speaks to me, especially about that photo. So it's a capybara.
The cutest. Cutie
Not
pie.
certain on the pronunciation, but going with that.
That's correct.
So I said the first thing is the vibes that came to mind. That face just feels very like a you face. They're also semi-aquatic, and they spend most of its time grazing or swimming in the nearest body of water. And they're agile on both land and water, which makes me think of how adaptable you can be in things. Like, what? She's super pretty and nerdy smart? Like, she looks like a marketing girly, but is actually a marketing girl.
That's a very big difference.
Very big difference. You're not filming content, you're doing the marketing data.
Thank you.
Very different, but you are a marketing girl. And since you don't eat huge meals and you have a pool, it felt like it was on top of it, grazing and going in the water.
Yes.
Also, they don't mind being alone. But they also live in groups of up to 40. And the facial expression of them seem very you-like, where it's like, I'm here, not insanely smiley, but I'm also very, very cute. But I'm just going to deadpan observe most of this.
I love it.
Accurate?
So accurate.
Okay.
What a cutie.
Next one is I'm going to talk about the flower I chose for you.
Yeah, that one's a cool one.
I thought
it looks sad. I thought you chose it because it looked sad.
I might have. I don't think I wrote that in the example.
Because it looked like it was a crying flower.
It does look like a crying flower. So it's
very
like
on
these
brand.
Black petals with kind of almost looking teardrops, and it's drooping. But the reason I looked it up is when it said plant, I looked up rare flowers.
That's nice.
Because to me, you're very, very rare.
Thank you.
And this one's a black bat flower, and
very cool.
I know, it's a really cool name, and the picture grasped me because it feels very INFJ.
Cool.
Enneagram 4.
Yes.
Deep feeler to me, which is all you. And then it was saying that bat flowers are not common, though they're sometimes offered in nurseries in subtropical regions along with other specialty plants. And from internet sources, they should be grown as a house plant during the winter, but spend most of their time outdoors in the summer. Avoid exposure to direct sunlight at times, but during the winter, give them as much indirect light as possible.
Thank you.
Exactly. And then it was, more information about it. I said, you're not common, and you're actually a total homebody. But in the summer, you do like to be outdoors.
I love being outdoors.
And you want light, but not like obvious light. You like an indirect, like shine on me with attention when I want to be shined on. And then replant me in nice places occasionally.
I love that.
Yep. Do you want to read off a couple of mine?
I do. Which one do you want me to read? Because I had great... My descriptions were
Read
better.
all 3 of the descriptions you wrote for each one.
Mine were objectively more thoughtful. Yours were very nice, though.
How are they more thoughtful?
Because they were more about your soul.
I disagree. Anyone listening would be like, man, if my sister saw me that way, I feel so loved and seen. That's what the listeners are thinking.
You know what the listeners are thinking? When they hear me, they're going to be like, wow, that sister's better.
No,
I'd be that sister's friend.
We're trying to remove from competition here, and there's not inadequate slices of pie. It's abundance. It's a life of abundance. We both can be good sisters.
Yes. We're both good. One is just better. Okay. Flower. Oh, okay, this one. The flower. I mean, it just looks like a normal flower, which I would have chosen a prettier one.
Okay.
But I liked the description of this better. The flower is called oleander. It's a common garden flower that's pretty and nice and very good at growing in poor soil and lasting through drought. But if you ingest it, it will kill you. Even one leaf will kill an adult. I rest my case. That's so accurate.
I thought you said they're
pretty.
Okay.
Well, you're pretty and nice. Pretty soul and face. You're great at thriving in tough situations. You can thrive in a drought. Metaphorical drought. But don't bite you. Don't bite you. You bite back. And
lethal.
Yeah. Okay. And I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
I actually looked up plants that will kill you.
No, you didn't. I looked up
lethal
rare
plants.
Flowers.
I looked up poisonous plants.
Oh my God.
But only because that would narrow down the list and then I could pick the one that was like also nice. But I just knew I wanted a plant that, because I mean, you're not like a Venus flytrap.
Just keep going. Go to the next
one. Let's do snow leopard next. That was a good one.
Okay, animal. You chose snow leopard.
Animal, I chose snow leopard. This one I actually searched for a good photo for a very long time because I saw it in my head. I wanted the snow leopard, but I wanted to be cold background and dark at night. I searched snow leopard in snow, moonlit background.
Cold, dark, lethal. These
all of these do
adjectives are
no,
very
but this one was beautiful in my head. This one was beautiful. It was because it's pretty and like majestic. This one's a good one. Okay, I chose snow leopard because it's literally you. Known for beauty and grace, but incredibly resilient and courageous and protective of their family. ChatGPT describes them as such. They move through life with a quiet strength. Their grace is evident in every step. In the face of adversity, they adapt and thrive, embodying a fierce independence that inspires those around them. ChatGPT loves snow leopards. Their beauty is not just in their appearance, but in their spirit. Uncommon, captivating, and undeniably powerful.
Ooh, I feel encouraged.
That's a good one.
Yep.
That's a good one.
I like that one.
I'm a capybara.
You loved the picture,
I
though.
love the picture,
you loved
though.
the picture.
I actually really love it. I if I could choose to be that, any little animal, I'd be that one. Or the little cute hippo that's viral right now.
Oh, Moodang.
The shiny one.
Oh, yeah. That one's
So
really cute.
Okay. And then last one I wrote is for the drink, I chose espresso.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you don't like coffee, but I think you're espresso because it's bold and strong and sometimes too strong for people.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones who can really understand the deeper notes absolutely love it. And the depth of flavor and your experience is pretty much bottomless. It also invigorates people and is usually a conduit for great conversations and community. And it makes a lot of money.
Hey. Ooh, a great conduit for conversations.
Mm-hmm. That's your new intro.
I know, right?
Welcome to Haven Podcast, a great conduit for conversations. Oh, that would be mine. I'm going to make a podcast.
If you made a podcast, what would you call it?
If I made a podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that a good question? I used to say if I was going to write a book, I would name it From the Attic to the Basement and Back Again.
Ooh. And
But
what's
it's
the
like
subtitle?
A little long. It doesn't need a subtitle. It's like 17 words.
That's true. I guess what's the somewhere on the back cover of what that means?
Mostly because I was just, my life is very like high and then low and then high and then low and then trying to find the middle ground. But I don't think I'd name it that anymore because that's not the most interesting part of me anymore. I think that I used to think that was probably the most like I'd lead with that, or that was the main descriptor of my personality, or the main, I don't know, calling card, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so anymore. It is still true. I still have a very wide range of emotions, but
what do you think it would be now?
That's what I don't know. You know, I ask a new icebreaker to my boss every week when I have a one-on-one.
After he says ahoy?
You joke, but it's true. And I'm actually also kind of known for it. They've done it in full company meetings now. Before.
Wow. Okay, so what's the most recent one?
Most recent one, well, not most, well, today's was, if you could join any fictional family, what would it be and why? I said Addams Family because they have a really healthy dynamic and the husband really loves the wife.
Oh, that's interesting and very accurate.
His was some family in Star Trek where he still got to live on Earth in the utopia, and then his family would go back and forth to the spaceship.
Oh.
Also very on brand for him, if you knew him. No, but the one I'm referencing is, if you had a catchphrase, what would it be and why? And I had one for like work life was, that was a weird thing to say. And then for personal life, it was, oh my God, I forgot you existed. Because I am just very focused on one thing and forget, i.e., I forgot so many times that you asked me to watch this TV show. Not because I didn't care, but because it wasn't directly in front of my face at all times. I did remember every time I turned on the TV, but by the time I turned on the TV, I was already prepped for a different show.
For a comfort show. Interesting.
If it's not directly in front of me, it doesn't exist. I used to have to write a note on my computer that said, you have a husband.
Well, I remember you had to have a
JJ.
note that says you have a husband to talk to JJ and also eat. Like you'd
Also
have to have reminders on your phone to eat. I can't.
That doesn't answer your question about what my podcast would be titled. I don't really have enough interesting things to say to have a podcast. I'd run out after like 2 episodes.
I disagree. I mean, you'd have to niche in an area. Like,
I could talk about marketing, I guess, but
yeah. What would you say about marketing? Like, what's the thing you put on shirts, which are really funny?
oh, this is great. Okay. So we had a contest to design a shirt for each department. I work in the strategy department, which houses strategic consulting and data intelligence. And the one I designed won. And it's very simple. It says, I ROAS. Underneath says, I really overanalyze stuff.
Because ROAS is a marketing term.
Yes, but ROAS is dumb. My big thing I would say is, I don't give a about ROAS, because you don't. Incremental ROAS is contribution over attribution. But that's what my thing would be about, probably about incrementality.
Yeah.
But yeah, it won. It was a really good shirt. Everyone loves it. And all the other departments said that they want it, but it's only for my department.
See, I feel like that's one of those super niche jokes that really someone listening is really tickled by, and someone else is like, I still don't get it.
It lands in very
in
specific
small
rooms.
circles, in companies of 800 people, all 800 laugh.
They did because they really knew the joke. But yeah, it was a really good one.
That's nice.
But no, I actually really I don't have a name for my podcast because I don't have a lot of advice. I really don't. No, I really don't.
You do have a name for your podcast.
I do. What is it?
Mommy's Little Meatball.
Excuse me, it's Mummy's Little Meatball.
Mummy.
Mummy's Little Meatball.
I am going to
You're not explaining it.
I'm going to.
No.
Okay, well. Where do we go from here, sis?
Well, the prompts were very open-ended.
They were.
But do you feel like there's any substance in that? What are we missing?
I think sometimes it's just for entertainment.
Give people what they want.
I mainly
want to tell silly stories.
We could. I wanted to also kind of just share the dynamics of people who don't have sisters. Like it's kind of a weird area that they're just like witnessing that they're not inside. Yes. And being inside of it, that's why I love, again, the third callback to the show. I loved it because the sister dynamic felt so fun and so real, where they were interviewing someone about something, and he was like reading her sister's energy. And he's like, I can just tell like you're really generous. And she's like, yeah, I really feel that. And her sister's like, you Venmo requested me for a smoothie. And
it doesn't count.
That made me laugh so hard, where it's like it's this dynamic of a sister. Like for you, like I would give you my kidney, but not my phone charger. It's so hard to explain.
It is
what that means to someone not like in that world. So I love the title of Best Friends, Worst Enemies, because it's also like we have such a textured past. And if any other friend did what I allegedly did to you as a child, I would say don't be that person's friend. That's a really cruel thing to do. And that person's got a problem, and that person's hurt is not your issue. Like that's crazy that we're still friends after you think I did that to you, and I may or may not have.
I'm really loving all these caveats.
I just don't recall, and I can't say I didn't because I'm not certain. There's a certain part of me that's like, maybe I did that, but I just don't think I would intentionally be that cruel. So I can't. That's the part where I'm like, there's a question mark to me.
Well, you did do it.
Doing it to hurt you.
Sure.
But it sounds like I can't dispute the fact that I stole her as a friend.
Motive is unknown.
The motive is unknown.
But you cross over into being convicted, not alleged, just by doing it. It's motive agnostic.
That's true. But then to play on the word convicted, do I need to feel morally convicted?
You don't.
Because I can't remember. I don't think I would do that on purpose, but there's also a chance that I was a little punk 8-year-old.
But also, does it matter if it was on purpose or not?
Yes.
Really?
That's a mean thing to do to someone.
It doesn't matter to me.
It would matter to me looking back if I did that as a child.
Well, sure. But it doesn't matter to me. There's a lot of things that I think you did do on purpose.
I'm not disputing the other mean stuff I did on purpose. Especially the ones I can remember. But this one is interesting.
Alleged one.
You said it. You said it. Not me.
There's sarcasm there, or like raised eyebrows.
Raised eyebrows.
Traditionally meant to imply.
Most people aren't watching you.
Oh.
They're listening. But as I was saying, the best friend, worst enemy is a funny mix to describe something.
It is, and ours has gone back and forth. We've had different seasons too. Mm-hmm. And I think the thing that, you know what though, I do still grieve not having the sister relationship I wanted. And I don't know if we ever will, to be totally honest, which I say that with no malice or hurt. Mm-hmm. It's just, although I did say grieve, but mostly in just like I think that's a necessary thing to do. I think I got to a point where I just resigned to what our relationship will be.
I think we had it in college.
Exactly. It's past tense.
Well, I think we had it in college. I think that there was a really tough issue that we dealt with together that is trying to find the new path forward from that one. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's where it's kind of trying to figure out, because now we're also just in such different life seasons.
That's, I think, the thing, too.
It helped in college when we were in the same life season. Yeah. It was easy to be that.
Yeah. It's I watched the documentary Dancing with the Devil or Dancing for the Devil, one of the two. It was about the TikTok dance crew thing.
Dude.
Wild. Ugh. But the sister in that who just went to the ends of the earth because of how close they were, how much they loved each other, blah, blah, blah. That's the type of sister relationship I always wanted. And, you know, I just don't know if it would happen.
And that's, you know, such an interesting take, because when I was talking with someone about this episode, she also has a sister, and we were talking about the, oh, are you close thing? And she said that her answer is, yeah, we have a successful relationship. And she said successful is more important to her than close.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that they're different, where it's basically like successful is where both people feel respected, that there are boundaries, where you can enjoy each other's company and setting up a time, but that sometimes even the goal of close can sometimes set people up for like failure of feeling like, oh, like if I am or I'm not close with my sister, then that's like an indictment on one of us. But like, well, what does a successful relationship look like, and what can we both agree on, and how can we enjoy each other's company, but not like put this expectation of it has to be a certain way.
Yeah. I mean, I think we certainly have a successful relationship, I'd say. And I think we could have a closer relationship in life, I think. Maybe one day.
I think because I think we were our closest. It was college, because we were in the same area. We had the same major. We literally had so much going on the same. And then now it feels like we're in just such different life circumstances.
Sure.
That it's also like, okay, I do think that we're close. I think there's tons of opportunity to be closer, you know, on that front. And so I think successful probably is the best way to view it right now.
Yeah. Which I think is great. And still close. But I thought of a funny story that I think it emphasizes the best friends and worst enemies. When JJ and I first started dating, for the 30 minutes that we dated before we got married, we weren't close at the time. And
or successful.
We were neither close nor successful. No. And I'm pretty sure he met you like very close to actually when we were engaged. I don't know if did you guys meet when we were just dating? I think we were already engaged.
Yeah. And then I remember being like, can I take you to lunch? Because I'd really like to get to know the man
that's
about to marry my sister.
Yeah. So I remember he came in during a very weird family dynamic, and that was the introduction to the family.
Yeah.
And I remember one day, I don't remember what it was that you did or something. I think I had reverted back to little Clancy, and you were also Little Haven, didn't get along. And I remember within the same night, which I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on podcast, but I had called you a bitch to him and wanted him to agree. But then he reiterated it back to me, and I said, don't ever call my sister that.
It's so funny.
But I wanted, and then one time I even asked him, I said, will you call her a bitch? Just say it. Just acknowledge it. She's a bitch. And he was like, I'm not making that mistake. No, I'm not touching it. I will affirm whatever it is. Because one time he did, and I was like, don't ever. I had said it 4 minutes earlier.
It's the thing of like the sisters, like that part is so true. Like I can vent. I don't typically vent about you to like, because I was like, I don't want to like spew this around. I'll vent to like Aaron, or like even like a close friend. But the good thing about like Aaron and my close friendships is their goal is always for us to be together. Like I would never go to someone who would agree with me or who would put you down or whatever. One, because then I would just get super defensive.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I need a place to release for someone who sees the overarching nature of our relationship of we will be together, we will be friends, and is for us. I don't want to go to someone that's just going to reiterate this narrative of this one slice of moment of who you're being or who I'm being here.
Yes.
And I feel like that's important too, is like with the sister stuff, is like it'd be easy for someone to have this crazy narrative about you if I'm going in a venting moment.
Yeah.
But the second they say anything I said back, I'd be like, are you kidding me?
Are you kidding?
You don't even know
Get
her.
out of here.
You don't even know why she's acting like that. There's a lot of reasons that are super valid for her to be hurting towards me.
You know what? She graduated therapy, so it's fine.
No, but I feel like that's a piece too with the it's just such a mixed bag together.
It's already confusing enough. If my closest friends, or JJ in particular, rode the wave with me of emotions and feelings about you or our relationship, that would be confusing to me because they're so volatile, as all sister relationships are.
Yes.
And not a bad thing. It's just very much like a beautiful ocean.
Yeah.
It would be confusing.
Yeah.
Because then I'd be like, wait, is your objective opinion that it is good, or is your objective opinion that it's bad? Like, I just need someone to be there, neutral.
Yeah.
Neutral, steadfast.
Neutral with the hint towards positive, but not right now. Like, don't be positive right now.
Like, if I do...
in-game is to be positive.
Like, if I do call you a bitch, I want, like...
How often? I have never called you that in my life.
Well, it's so nice of you.
In my life, I have never referred...
Really?
Never.
Oh, I did once. If I did ever once, again, ever, I want, like, a slight head nod. It could be... Maybe you just had an itch. Like, don't ever call my sister that. Don't even say yes. Don't even agree with me. But, like, did you dip your chin? Maybe. I'll take it.
That is so funny.
I call a lot of people bitch.
That's actually true. I don't think I think I've maybe referred to a woman saying acting like that maybe 2 or 3 times, but I've never said someone is that. No, I think there's more educated words to use. And I
say it mostly as a term of endearment.
Oh, so you were nice to me in that. Yay.
Yes, that definitely. You don't say it. Well, I guess you don't say it often. But no, I mostly use it as term of endearment.
I'll use it as a punchline.
Today I did. There's a dress code for the restaurant we're going to tonight. I had a bunch of friends and I said, dress up, bitches. That I use it 98% of the time as a term of endearment. But,
and then 2% towards your sister.
You know, which you would never have known unless I was open and vulnerable in this podcast and told you that I did once. But this was also like 7 years ago.
It's a place for friends.
It's the only time that has happened.
And it will never happen again.
It will never happen again. It certainly wouldn't. From the only reason he ever said it was because I did, and he was trying to like, he was new to the family. He was
Rookie
like, oh
mistake.
Yeah, I got your side. No. I snapped.
You have my side by not doing that.
And then he was like, I actually don't think she is. I was just trying to agree with you.
Poor husband's in the crossfire. That's another thing too. Do you remember the one time Aaron got involved in one of our fights? The one time?
Once and never again.
Do you remember what I'm talking about?
He was on my side, wasn't he?
Yes.
I loved it.
It was one time he got involved, and it was at Dad's house in Lantana. And I remember he inserted himself.
Yes.
And he was on your side, but then we both got mad at him, even though he was on your side.
I was offended that he didn't stick up for you.
Yes.
I said, why are you... I'm being a bitch.
Yeah. Well, and then I was offended that he chose your side. Yes. It's a lose-lose when husbands get involved in sister fights.
Don't do it.
No.
Because sister fights are their own thing.
They they dismantle and then they're back up again.
And they also can happen at the same time as sister bonding. Like, we can be happy and sad at the same time. That's a song.
What song is that?
It's Casey Musgraves.
Yes.
Happy and sad at the same time. I would have a singing podcast.
I was going to say, I was like, man, you actually almost hit a lot of the notes.
No.
More than I could have.
That's just being a nice sister. That's being a friend right now.
Thank you.
Not my worst enemy.
A best friend.
A best friend. Are there any other silly stories to give the people what they want?
Oh, we have to land this. We've been talking a long time.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I just thought maybe I would have
We could probably end on one silly story.
No, I can't think of any silly stories.
I know we have one. Disneyland. Tucker's chicken.
That's a Tucker story.
Okay.
Also, I just feel like we're friends. Like, I just also need everyone to know. I literally was just talking to someone who knew me 10 years ago. And you came up because they had seen your podcast. And they were like, yeah, last I knew you, there was some rough things going on at that time. You know, how is that going now? And I was like, yeah, what was happening when you knew me? And they were like, I just remember she lost her mind because you got the same haircut.
I did not lose my mind.
Her words, not mine. I'm sure I exaggerated the story when I was...
Alleged. Okay, see...
what is with the allegedly?
So...
Who has the better memory? I don't remember things you told me 30 seconds ago, but I will remember something that happened 30 years ago because it made such a deep emotional impact on me.
As I was saying, I had a long hair for like...
You had a long hair?
I had one long hair.
You know that thing where it's like, I have purse.
I had long hair for like 10 years.
Hair.
And I went and I got a short hair. No, you're trying to cut me off on here. And I went and I got a short haircut, and it was a really big deal. This is the equivalent of Clancy getting weeks to spend to think about talking to this friend. I had weeks prepared for this haircut, and I was really, really excited. I had moved to LA, and it was a big change of life, and I'm going to do this haircut. I did this huge haircut. It was a big sign for me. 2 weeks later, Clancy gets the exact same haircut.
It was a great haircut.
I did not lose my mind, but I literally was like, I felt like copying me. I was like, why would you copy me? This was a big deal for me. I like put a lot of thought into this, and now I'm seeing the mirror scenario with the friend and the Bible in the seat. Someone walking up being like, that took me weeks to prep for that, and you just swoop in and do it.
It was a good haircut. I thought, that looks great on her. We look a lot alike. It's probably gonna look great on me.
See, that one's my trauma, my wound.
Yes.
I haven't graduated therapy.
The worst one, though, I will say, was we got into a fight once because I got the same color IKEA caboodle.
What's a caboodle?
I think that's what it's called. It was like a rolling caboodle.
What's a caboodle? You're still not describing this.
It was a caboodle on wheels.
Is that a backpack?
No, it's like a rolling caboodle. And I got the same color that everyone in the world had.
I was in the wrong here. This was 100% not allegedly. I was in the wrong. I have a little bit of
You made me return it.
A sore spot about Clancy copying me, because a lot of my life, it's like I would come out in an outfit and she'd say, that looks great. And she would go change to wear the exact outfit.
Great outfit.
I would get
if
a haircut.
It looks good on you.
She said, that looks great. I would get it. So I'm actually doing this as a sign of resilience that I'm willing to match her right now, is because we're trying to move forward and trying to heal.
This is honestly such a big deal. I love matching.
This is healing.
I want to match with everyone at all times.
Yeah.
JJ will not match with me.
I'm doing this because I love you as my sister. I'm doing this today because I knew you're going to love it. Mm-hmm. We're both going to wear the same shirts. It's going to make you so happy.
I love it.
I'm going to heal from my wounding that you're copying me in my life.
I love it. You have worse ideas then.
That's true. We do need to end on a silly story because everything we've done has been
Caboodle
about fights.
Story.
That's not silly. That was me being stupid.
Chick-fil-A.
What about it? When I got...
And whatever the radio was. You remember the radio station? We used to caravan to school, not carpool. High school, we would caravan. College, we would carpool. You would drive in front, I would drive in back, and we would listen to the same radio station.
Yes.
And then discuss it. Sometimes we would listen to the same radio station while being on the phone.
Yes.
And then we would discuss the radio station.
Like a live podcast on the radio.
On the radio.
Real commentary.
That's one of my favorite memories.
That was good times.
The amount of times, though, that we would go to college, park our car, and then look at each other and say, Chick-fil-A? and then we would skip
back
school
out of the parking lot and
go
get
get Chick-fil-A. Did you tell the fashion story you did, huh? On the first
throwing
one?
Pieces in your hair.
Yeah,
yes.
you told that one. That one's a good one. All right. Well, the Chick-fil-A one's good.
Yeah, we got one. We just realized we have to end on a happier note because we did a lot of sad fighting stories.
But we're just like, we are best friends. You are my best friend.
We are successful. I'm just kidding. We are.
Okay, wait. Last poll. Me or Candace?
Clancy.
But that's your answer? Is Clancy, or you're starting Clancy, comma?
No, Clancy. I mean, it's sister, and because Candace has sisters,
Take that,
I would
Candace.
never ask her to choose between me or Charity. I would encourage her to choose Charity, and I would encourage myself to choose you.
Well, I'd choose you too.
Over Claudia, the person you see once a month?
Yep.
Yes. It's a win.
Woo!
Well, thank you for listening. We didn't really have any particular thread we were trying to go through. I just wanted to share some interesting, I was going to say fun memories. A lot of them really weren't that fun, but they were memories of yours.
You know what?
That I'm questioning.
I'm signing off as Mommy's Little Meatball.
The end. You guys all know the call to actions. Bye.